Tangle, man.
I have a cat!
The movie opens in Bighorn Ridge, Montana, where a grumpy elderly woman named Ellen Cole refills her prescription at a pharmacy before buying 2 boxes of beer at a convenience store. Nearby, the local sheriff, Winston, catches a young woman named Abigail Cochran after she steals several chocolate bars and a few packs of beef jerky from the same store. Her drunken father recently died, and now that she has no family left, Abigail plans to leave town for good. With no money and nowhere to go, she stole the food as supplies for the road. Instead of arresting her, Winston seems to take pity on her. He lets her go with a warning and orders his deputy, Henry Darr, to drive her to the city limits. On the way, Henry tries to start a conversation, but Abigail shuts him down. He eventually drops her off near a gas station. Inside the gas station, 2 men named Kyle and Dwayne notice Abigail trying to hitch a ride. They approach her and offer to take her somewhere, but Abigail refuses. The men keep insisting, making her uncomfortable. Nearby, Ellen sees what is happening and steps in. She offers Abigail a ride instead. Abigail accepts, but Kyle and Dwayne try to stop them. Ellen quickly takes both men down with surprising ease. Abigail is shocked by what the old woman can do and thanks her. During the drive, Ellen learns that Abigail is trying to get to Mexico. Abigail says she has always wanted to see Machu Picchu, but Ellen corrects her, saying Machu Picchu is in Peru, not Mexico. Instead of simply dropping Abigail off at the highway, Ellen takes her back to her ranch, which sits near a construction site. Ellen feels sorry for her and insists that Abigail should at least leave with a full stomach and a good night's sleep. Abigail is reluctant at first, but she eventually agrees. That night, after dinner, the 2 women share a surprisingly warm conversation. Ellen reveals that Abigail's father used to help her around the house after Ellen's husband passed away. Abigail then explains that her father started drinking heavily after Duke's construction crews came to town to build the dam. Her father loved the creek nearby, and he was heartbroken when the construction destroyed it. Later, he hit his head at the dam and drowned. Abigail is tired of the town and wants to travel the world. Ellen gently tells her that travel can broaden the mind, but it is also important to have a home to come back to. She reminds Abigail that having a place to belong matters. To lighten the mood, Ellen jokes that they are both orphans now. The 2 laugh together, and for a moment, the sadness between them feels a little lighter. The next day, a powerful land developer named Richard Duke rides in his limousine to Ellen's ranch with his right-hand man, Mitch Clay. When they arrive, Duke pressures Ellen to sell the property, claiming her land is the perfect location for his new resort project. Duke offers Ellen a large amount of money. He also tells her she can choose any available property in Duke's estates and promises her a lifetime VIP membership. But Ellen coldly refuses. Duke tries to push harder, but Ellen makes it clear that as long as she is still breathing, her ranch is not for sale at any price. Furious, Duke storms back to his limo. Once inside, he orders Mitch to get Ellen off the property, no matter what it takes. That night, Ellen secretly fills Abigail's backpack with supplies for her journey. She even gives her a hunting knife for protection. Ellen tells Abigail to be smart and stay safe. Abigail is touched and thanks her. But later that night, Kyle and Dwayne, who both work for Duke, break into Ellen's house. Their plan is to hurt Ellen and make it look like an accident. Dwayne begins tampering with the stairs, but Ellen wakes up after hearing the noise. She catches him in the act and attacks him. Despite her age, Ellen beats him down and knocks him unconscious with her oxygen tank. Meanwhile, Abigail wakes up because of the commotion and runs into Kyle. He chases her through the house. During the struggle, Abigail accidentally finds a gun in a cabinet and shoots Kyle in the shoulder. Terrified and wounded, Kyle runs off, while Abigail stands there shaken by what she has done. Ellen calmly comforts her, telling her not to say anything because she will take the blame. Kyle immediately reports what happened to Mitch. Mitch is disappointed that Kyle and Dwayne could not handle one old woman. The next morning, the police arrive at Ellen's house and arrest Dwayne. But instead of focusing on the break-in, Sheriff Winston brings up Ellen's earlier fight with the men at the gas station. Then the police find 12 wheat plants in Ellen's barn. Ellen explains that they are only for personal use, but Winston says anything over 4 plants is illegal in Montana and can be charged as a felony with intent to distribute. 2 masked men broke into Ellen's home in the middle of the night, but somehow Ellen is the one who gets arrested. Deputy Henry clearly feels uncomfortable with the order, but he follows Winston's command and arrests her. While Ellen is taken away, Abigail stays behind at the ranch. Alone in the house, she finds a hidden room beneath the basement. Inside, she discovers a collection of guns, several different passports, and old photos of Alan wearing military uniforms. Abigail realizes Alan may have been a soldier or something even more dangerous. At the police station, one officer notices Alan's fierce tiger tattoo and compliments it, calling it badass. He even shows her his own Taylor Swift tattoo for comparison. Nearby, Dwayne threatens Ellen's house, but Ellen simply mocks his injured nose. Dwayne is soon bailed out, while Ellen is left sitting in a holding cell. Ellen demands that Sheriff Winston protect her house and connects the break-in to Duke, but Winston brushes her off. Ellen accuses him of working for Duke and asks him one last time if he has any intention of protecting her property. Winston coldly says no. Soon after, Kyle and Dwayne take cans of gasoline, making it clear that they are planning to burn down Ellen's house. Back at the police station, Henry grows worried about Ellen. Concerned, he brings her oxygen tank to the holding cell and finds her lying on the floor. He rushes inside to help her, but Ellen tricks him, takes his gun, and locks him inside the cell. On her way to the exit, Ellen grabs another officer by the finger. When a female officer tries to tase her, Ellen turns the weapon against both officers and knocks them down. After escaping the station, Ellen rushes back home. Once there, she gives Abigail the truck keys and tells her to leave before the police show up. She insists that she will be fine, but Abigail refuses to abandon her. Soon, the police arrive outside. Ellen calmly waits for them on her front porch. Sheriff Winston confronts her and points his gun at her, but Ellen disarms him with ease and knocks him to the ground, shocking the other officers. Humiliated, Winston orders his men to bring out the bigger guns. Henry tries to calm him down, warning him not to make the situation worse because Abigail is still inside the house. He does not want her caught in the crossfire. Henry enters the house unarmed and tries to convince Abigail to come outside. But Abigail refuses because she is afraid of what the police might do to Ellen. Henry promises they are not going to hurt an old woman. Then Abigail shows Henry something she found. She admits that she used to think her father was crazy, but now she is not so sure. She shows Henry a map and points out a series of strange incidents connected to other ranches. One ranch burned down, with officials calling it a brush fire. Another lost all its cattle to botulism, even though that disease is not common in the area. After that, the owner killed himself. At first, Henry thinks it is all just a coincidence. But the more Abigail explains, the more he begins to realize something is wrong. Abigail always believed Henry was the officer who found her father's body at the dam. But Henry explains that he was only the first officer to arrive at the scene. The people who actually found the body were Duke's men. That is when Abigail and Henry begin to suspect that Duke's men murdered her father. Not long after, Mitch arrives with his armed men. Knowing Abigail is still inside, Sheriff Winston asks for more time to get her out of the house. Mitch gives him 3 minutes. Winston radios Henry and orders him to bring Abigail out. Henry refuses and questions why Duke's men are even there. With a heavy heart, Winston gives Mitch the signal to move in. Henry still wants to believe there must be some kind of mistake. He thinks Winston might still be one of the good guys. But Abigail believes Winston has abandoned all of them and left them to die. Without warning, Ellen knocks Henry unconscious, seeing him as a liability. Since they cannot leave him upstairs, Ellen and Abigail drag him down into the secret room beneath the basement and tie him up to keep him out of the crossfire. For their own safety, Ellen locks both Abigail and Henry inside the hidden room. Meanwhile, more of Mitch's men arrive outside. These are not just thugs anymore. They are trained mercenaries. As they prepare to attack, Ellen begins setting booby traps throughout the house. At the same time, the police run a background check on Ellen. At first, they only find that she moved to Bighorn Ridge in 1999. Before that, there is almost nothing. But after they send a photo of her tiger tattoo to the FBI, they discover the truth. Ellen is originally from Russia. She was once a former KGB agent known by the nickname Sword and Shield. That means Ellen did not just know how to fight. She used to kill people professionally. As the mercenaries close in from the back of the house, Dwayne finds several practice targets. Every shot has hit dead center. Realizing what they may be walking into, he starts to panic. The men plan to ram a car straight into the house, but Ellen shoots out the tire before they can get close. Around the back of the house, the mercenaries begin getting caught in Ellen's booby traps one by one. Terrified, Dwayne runs away and leaves the others behind. Chaos erupts as Mitch and his men open fire wildly at the house, forcing Ellen to take cover. They move in closer, and when Kyle opens the front door, another trap goes off and sends him flying onto the lawn. The men finally manage to enter the house, but Ellen moves silently through the shadows. Meanwhile, Abigail tries to force her way out of the hidden room. One of the mercenaries hears the noise and starts trying to open the door. At the same time, Ellen kills the attackers one by one with terrifying precision. She even takes their weapons and uses them against them. Her aim is so accurate that she needs only one bullet for each target. Abigail cuts Henry loose just as a mercenary breaks in and opens fire. Henry fights back but gets overpowered, so Abigail knocks the attacker down with a baseball bat. Elsewhere in the house, Ellen begins struggling to breathe after everything she has done. She reaches for her oxygen tank, but Mitch spots her and opens fire. Ellen dives for cover, but she is hit. She fires back, but Mitch uses a dead body as a shield until Ellen runs out of bullets. Mitch praises her, saying she must have been a machine in her prime. Then he throws her around and prepares to shoot her. Before pulling the trigger, he asks if she has any final request. Ellen calmly tells him to aim for the head. When Mitch turns around, he finds Henry pointing a gun directly at him. A little later, Ellen, Abigail, and Henry tie Mitch up and interrogate him. They ask why Duke wants Ellen dead now, when the OCPD is already going to take her property in less than a year. Mitch reveals the truth. Duke owes a lot of money to dangerous people. If he cannot finish building the resort by next summer, he is finished. That is why he needs Ellen gone immediately. Ellen's lung disease starts getting worse, and she needs her medication. While Abigail tries to help her, she accidentally knocks a wine opener off the table. Mitch secretly grabs it and hides it. While Abigail tends to Ellen in another room, Mitch taunts Henry. He reminds him that Winston left him to die. Henry loses his temper and gets too close, allowing Mitch to overpower him with the hidden tool. Abigail and Ellen rush back into the room, but Mitch has already set the house on fire and taken Henry hostage. As Mitch runs off, Ellen opens fire in anger, but he manages to escape outside. His men surround the house and open fire, making sure nobody can leave. With the flames spreading, Ellen, Abigail, and Henry head back into the secret room beneath the basement. They gather a few supplies and escape through a hidden tunnel. Outside, Mitch and his men watch the house burn, believing they have trapped everyone inside. But the trio has already made it out. Ellen looks back at her burning home, devastated as the place she loved is destroyed. By morning, Mitch's men search the burned house for bodies, but Ellen leads Abigail and Henry to a hidden truck in the forest. As they drive away, Ellen finally opens up about her past. She says she never had a real home before. When she was a little girl, the KGB picked her up from the streets and trained her to kill. Later, she met her husband, and together they built a beautiful life and a real home. Now, that home is gone, and the loss breaks her heart. They know they need proof if they want to bring Duke down, and Abigail remembers that her father may have found something before he died. They head to his trailer and search through his things. There, they find evidence linking Duke's estate project to the other ranches that were destroyed. Meanwhile, Duke receives a call from the Russian men he owes money to. They demand that he sign their papers in person. In the forest, Abigail breaks down as the truth finally sinks in. She realizes she spent the last few years hating her father, feeling embarrassed by him, ignoring him, and looking down on him like everyone else did. But now she knows he was right all along. He was not crazy. Duke really was behind everything. Now, Abigail and Ellen want him to pay for what he did. Meanwhile, Henry goes to see Sheriff Winston. He tells him the state police are on their way to arrest him. That night, Duke learns that Ellen is still alive. Moments later, the lights go out, and his guards outside begin dying one by one. Ellen moves through the shadows like a ghost, striking silently and with terrifying precision. Dwayne hides Duke inside a closet and gives him a gun. Then Dwayne stands guard, terrified but ready for whatever is coming. At the same time, Abigail plants explosives at the dam. While she is working, Kyle suddenly appears and reveals that he was the one who murdered her father. He attacks Abigail and beats her while cruelly taunting her. But Abigail secretly pulls out the hunting knife Ellen gave her and stabs him in the stomach, leaving him for dead. Back at Duke's estate, all the guards are dead. Someone approaches the closet, and Duke panics. He opens fire wildly, emptying his gun through the door. Then Ellen opens the closet and aims her weapon at him. Duke thinks she has come to kill him, but Ellen reveals that she is not there for him. She is there for Mitch. When Mitch arrives, Ellen makes it clear that this is personal because he burned down her home. She shoots him in the hand, disarming him. Mitch challenges her to fight him like a man, and Ellen accepts. At first, Mitch overpowers her, but Ellen gouges one of his eyes. When he tries to stab her, she turns the weapon against him and kills him. Later, Ellen takes Duke into the forest. She signals Abigail, and Abigail detonates the explosives, destroying the dam. Duke curses at Ellen, but then one of the Russian men arrives to collect the signed papers. He immediately recognizes Ellen and shows her respect. As Ellen speaks to him in Russian, Duke smiles, thinking the man has come to kill her. But the truth is even worse for him. Ellen allows the Russian man to take Duke away, knowing exactly what will happen to him. Sometime later, Abigail reads a newspaper reporting that Duke is still missing after the massacre. Henry, now the town sheriff, arrives to deliver Ellen's prescriptions. Before Abigail leaves, she and Henry share a warm goodbye. In the end, Ellen and Abigail prepare to leave town together. Using Abigail's father's trailer, they finally set off on their journey to Machu Picchu. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.